Yo, my today people, what is going on? Y'all already know my name is Wendy. I appreciate y'all for tuning into yet another. Today, y'all, we got a fun one. It's gonna be fun, but I hope y'all get a little something from it as well. We're gonna be talking about everything from Ice Spice or Isis Gaston. That's her name. Cool name, actually. So everything from Ice Spice all the way down to Bernie Sanders. Yes, I will be talking a little bit about politics in this episode, just a little bit. Y'all know, hey, y'all that know me, y'all already know it wouldn't be me if I didn't somehow squeeze politics into the conversation, right? But yeah, today is going to be a fun one. Again, I appreciate you guys for joining. I really do. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, but first, let's slow down. All right, y'all already know I gotta for the namesake of the show, ask a question to the future, which is what I typically like to do. So let's go. Dear future robots, does cryptocurrency survive? Does the blockchain survive? And for those, because I gotta stop doing this thing I like to do sometimes, where I guess for one, I talk to people like they just know everything that's in my head, or they know everything that is to know about everything, and I'm just speaking freely. And then I get that kind of like deer in headlights look from some people, and they're like, So I want to explain. All right, so let's start with blockchain. Since I hope, because if you don't know what a cryptocurrency is, just log out right now. But let's start with the blockchain. So pretty much what the blockchain technology is, it's the underlying technology that enables cryptocurrencies to work. Things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they really wouldn't function without the blockchain, right? So pretty much it's serving as a decentralized ledger, so to speak. Y'all remember, y'all that our 80s and maybe even 90s babies, y'all remember that little brown book that had the little what was it, a page keep thing on it, and there was a section where you put somebody's name, and then another section where you put how much money or whatever the case they owed. Well, my grandmother had one, and I know y'all 80s and 90s babies have seen these things before. They're called ledgers. All right, so essentially you just think of blockchain, excuse me, I can't talk today, but think of blockchain as an electronic ledger that no one person owns, right? They have these people called nodes, and it honestly, I don't know if they're individuals or if they're firms, but these firms or groups, but these nodes are not necessarily a bank at all. I'm not going to say a bank, but they pretty much aren't supposed to communicate outside of making sure all the numbers match and all the transactions match. Pretty much all the ledgers have to be on point. That is how this works, right? And what this essentially does, having this system kind of set up like this, allows for secure use, and transparent transfers of all digital assets, including, NFTs were used on this as well. So, and NFTs, non-fungible tokens, Bored Ape, and all this stupid crap, all the stuff people were doing a few months back. But that's blockchain in a nutshell. I hope y'all got that. But if y'all didn't, let's just say this last part, and I hope this does it. But the blockchain's role in enabling secure and transparent transactions without the need for intermediaries has made it an essential component in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. In fact, many experts believe that the blockchain's potential for facilitating trustless peer-to-peer transactions is one of its most promising applications, with the potential to revolutionize the way we transfer value and exchange goods. So that's just a bit on the blockchain. Now, for me, right, because I had to do a little research and try to figure out how, if in fact cryptocurrencies aren't around anymore, or crypto commodities as I like to call them, how is something like the blockchain going to be utilized? Because honestly, this is the blockchain, in my opinion, my humble opinion, right? Yeah, I know I'm not a finance graduate or anything like that. I'm just a regular dude, a regular man that uses its brain. So let me see. So it's a few different things that I found and kind of just thought about, and it made sense to me was supply chain management. Right, it could be used to track the movement of goods across the supply chain, enabling companies to verify the authenticity of products and prevent fraud. So, I mean, if the biggest thing this allows you to do is prevent fraud and keep people honest, then that just kind of makes sense. Supply chains. Um, the second one, let's see, is voting systems. Obviously, right? Like we should be able at this point to vote on our cell phones. Maybe if they in the future implement blockchain technology into a certain app, we can then use that to get votes that aren't contested, right? Like, I swear we still fighting over elections from like 8 years ago. But so that's the second one, voting systems. The blockchain can be used to create a secure and transparent voting system that ensures the integrity of the voting process and prevents fraud. Like I said. Third, digital identity verification, right? No more carrying around certain cards, right? Blockchain can also be used to create a decentralized system for verifying digital identities, enabling users to control their own personal data and prevent identity theft. I really like that one. And four, smart contracts. And people who are used to doing business, I'm sure you've already seen smart contracts and stuff like that to an extent. The blockchain can be used to create self-executing contracts that automatically execute when certain conditions are met, reducing the need for intermediaries and increasing the efficiency of the contracting process. That is so dope. Fifth, I got two more. Fifth, decentralized storage. All right. The blockchain can also be used to create a decentralized storage system that is resistant to censorship and offers enhanced security and privacy. That one to me sounds like a good and a bad. When I first uh, realized the potential for that, I'm thinking of like Silk Road, dark web, and geez, if you focus on that, these things would be impenetrable, right? Like I don't know about that application, but if I'm talking about it, then somebody's gonna fit some tech person's gonna figure out a way to use that for some nastiness. And last, this was the last thing when looking at the possible future applications of something like a blockchain, and that's assuming, or not even assuming, but that's in the case that cryptocurrencies aren't around anymore. And that thing is energy management, right? So the blockchain can be used to create a decentralized energy management system that enables peer-to-peer trading of renewable energy and reduces reliance on centralized energy providers. So right now, what I take from that is that there's companies right now that are trying to kind of corner the market on solar power, right? I remember getting something in the mail where they were saying, "Oh, we're offering this new. If you get solar panels, or if you have them already, we're offering this new system where you can get a cheaper bill every month by just essentially donating some of your unused solar energy." I'm not sure if it was monthly, weekly, daily, but this is what the power company that I have was actually offering. Um, and what I think that is they're just trying to get their ducks in a row, get ahead of it. This is typically what a lot of companies, major companies, tend to do. Companies that corner the market, like power, energy, automobiles, and stuff like that. They always try to get ahead of the new technology and control it as best as they can, while steadily milking the current technology that they have. But yeah, there's tons. I just gave six. There's tons of, and I'm sure there's many more. But that's just a few examples of all the potential applications of blockchain technology. And obviously, we're still in kind of the early stages, so I'm sure it'll continue to evolve. And like I said, there'll be way more uses to it. So I don't know. I'll leave that where it is. I think blockchain is very valuable. I hope that doesn't go anywhere. But crypto, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's start the show. And we are back. Thank you again. Yo, I just have to apologize. I'll start like that. I gotta apologize. I guess didn't do my due diligence in reading through the fine print, but I didn't understand the severity of the pod chess wars, right? These companies, now Apple doesn't, they're not a service that, even though they offer podcasts, they don't host anything, right? Their host sites now, and Spotify got in the game heavy, heavy, heavy. Spotify has been doing podcasts forever, way before Apple, but there's rules to this thing. And I'm realizing it now, like seriously. And this is not about the vulgar language or cursing thing at a certain time, not that. Uh there's certain things that I could put on an episode here where people on Spotify can hear it. Like the few people that heard the episode when this last episode I did. The First Take episode. Those that heard the original version of that with the music, hey, I know y'all were grooving. I know y'all were vibing. All right. But because of the way that Spotify set up their system, it can't be loaded anywhere else but Spotify if you include music. Now, I know some of you out there are like, yeah, duh, it has music, there's copyright. If bro, I could make a podcast outside of a normal or typical host and just get an RSS feed and put it up. Guys, I'm sorry, there's a lot of few technical things on how a podcast is uploaded, but I can create my own podcast, sans a hosting site like Anchor or what's now Spotify for podcasters, and I can upload it, right? And I can have whatever music on there. I can upload it to Apple and have whatever music on there. But when you're adding the music in what Spotify calls music and talk, that is only something that they allow on their network. And I just thought it was very interesting because I'm literally sitting there for like 3 days waiting for this episode to load. Like, what's going on? Why isn't this episode loading? Like, like it was, man, I had the music on it, man. It was so, but I finally realized after getting in touch with their customer service, and they didn't even need to get back. I finally just realized on my own, like, hold on, this has to be it. So I went on there, did a few quick edits, removed the song, and voila, it the episode worked. But it was a Isaac Hayes joint. For those who know, it's long, but just Google or YouTube Isaac Hayes, Hyperbolics, and Groove, Groove, Groove. It's definitely a dope song, and I apologize. Spotify, man, come on, Apple, y'all gotta come together like Voltron. Y'all gotta team up and make the world a better place. Come on, y'all can do it. But for y'all out there that know me, y'all know I'm the music man. I do not play about that. For the few listeners I already have in Israel and a few other countries, ask somebody that knows me. I am the music guy. As the kids say these days, I am him. It's funny how kids really got us. Like we're really like learning speech and cool words, so to speak, from high schoolers, man. It's crazy. But but yes, I do apologize. That was a, I guess, misstep on my end, but I wish they did it different. Let's just blame them for now, all right? Let's blame them. But yes, yes, yes. Now that we're talking kind of about music. All right. I wanted to bring up, like I said in the intro, Isis Gaston. That is, she's better known as Ice Spice. All right. For those who know her music, she had one big song. I can't remember what it was called. I'm not even gonna front like I know. Damn, what was that song? I know you feeling me. Munch, Munch. That was the name of the song. That song went viral, right? But I really think she kind of hit because of her look. You know, good looking chick, right? But the catch was her like orphan, and she had like this. You remember Orphan Annie? It was a little kid show back in the day or whatnot. Famous movie, you should know it. But in America, we there's this thing Orphan Annie. You can just Google it again. But in Orphan Annie, this little girl had this like curly, like, and tight curls too. It's like this curly bright red hair. And that's, I think that's the catch with Ice Spice. I really do. I think that's the catch with her. Um, I've seen a few old video clips where she had her regular hair looking like Pinky. Eh, shout out. No disrespect at all, obviously, but she kind of struck me like that. But with the red hair, hey, you pop. I don't know, you just pop. I saw something floating on the internet, and I want y'all take on it. Right, I'm gonna give my take on it, but I want to hear in the comments and stuff. Like, I want to see what y'all think about it. Is Ice Spice's hair fake? Don't say it ain't so. Say please. Tell me that her hair isn't fake. I'm thinking like she's some kind of like rare breed mix, like some kind of like foreign, but not foreign, foreign and domesticated like mix. That's what I was thinking, and it clearly works for her. Clearly, it works for her. I know she says she hasn't had surgery or anything like that, but the hair was the catch. Obviously, beautiful face, but now you find out the hair is fake. It's very interesting. I'm like, damn, the people that put the money behind her and the help behind her career probably just, hey, you got to change something. Yeah, like sent her on to the beauty shop, and you better come out with something different. And wow, it worked. I don't know if it's still working, but it worked. I gotta give her that. It worked. I actually saw her yearbook picture, and I'm not even gonna front. Like an attractive girl. Uh, kind of reminded me of Lauren London, before she became a rapper's baby mama. I guess. Is that polite to say? Rest in peace, all that good stuff. But I just feel like Lauren London when she was new, and y'all know what I'm talking about when I say new. All right. When she was new, she kind of had this sparkle in her eyes, like the world was still great and everything was peaches and strawberries, and all that good stuff. But now it seems like she realized the world isn't as innocent as she thought. It's the the sparkle has kind of dimmed, and that's what I see with this Ice Spice girl. I just think it's the people around her, probably. They trying to milk her for what she got, and the game is unforgiving. She got the pressures of social media. She got those I smoke a lot eyes now. But hey, she's still a beautiful girl. I'm not, not knocking her at all. But I just thought it was interesting that the hair could be fake. And maybe I'm naive for thinking that. I mean, because nothing else really matches for the hair to be like that. But shout out to her. I hope her career continues. I hope she gets another one. I really do. Salute. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. The women in hip hop, man. I really hope. I was hoping Rhapsody would really pop. But hey, talking about women, I'll be remiss if I don't bring up the fact that it is, what is it? Women's Appreciation Month or something like that, right? Right? Tell me I'm not wrong, y'all. But if it's not Women's Appreciation Month, which I think it is, um, we just actually hit Equal Pay Day recently. I think it was on the 14th. That's Equal Pay Day. And for those that don't know what Equal Pay Day is, it's supposed to symbolize the the day in the year where a woman's pay finally matches a man's pay from the previous year. So, like, for instance, if I'm working a corporate job, 9 to 5 type job, you know, from January of 2022, it would and until December of 2022, it would take a regular woman working the same corporate job from January 2022 to March 14th, 2023 to make the same amount of money. Yeah. You know, I is it worth a whole day of remembrance or something like that? I don't know, but, our society is in an interesting place right now. Anything to foment or create division or some type of class or gender war, we seem to be on that right now. That's what we on. Um, and hey, I get it, divide and conquer, but it's starting to get annoying. This whole, like, we're still in this whole white and black thing, and then y'all created the Asian and black thing. Before it was the Hispanic and black thing. Like, but this women and men thing is like, come on, like, come on. Like we got enough on our plate, man. Like this has been going on what since the late 1800s. Like we y'all still got us arguing over like stuff from the 1970s and stuff from the early 1900s. Like, come on. Like we're in a very different world now. I get it. Women haven't always had it easy, but neither have men. We're people, right? Neither gender is better than the other. Like men aren't better than women. Women aren't better than men. Period. We're the same. We just have different positions to play. Just like LeBron and who's a guard on his team right now, or not even a guard. Let's say LeBron and AD. They do different things. They're not this. They're on the same team. They're working towards the same goal. In this case, the goal is humanity, propagating our species and keeping the human race going. Um, I don't like the fact that the power structure seems to be dividing us or working towards dividing us, and just have a lot of these narratives that are nonsensical that gain so much steam. Because honestly, if I'm a woman and for instance, let's use the NBA. That's I know it's low hanging fruit, but hear me out, right? Humor me. If I am the best WNBA player and and I think this was a thing recently, a few months back. And I'm looking at, or I get asked by a reporter, "What do you think about LeBron's paycheck?" What am I supposed to say? I mean, it's the same corporation, yeah, sure, but what am I supposed to say? The media isn't drilling into our heads on a daily basis. Hey, it's like this because of revenue. One thing I could say this world currently cares about more than anything is money, green, right? Companies like Nike and Adidas just proved that. So why do people keep thinking it's some ideological thing against women and the world hates women? That could be farther from the truth. The world protected women more than it's harmed women in the freaking history of the world from my perspective, from what I've seen. Please, if you disagree, enlighten me. I love it. Enlighten me, please. But from what I see, women were always to be protected. I, I mean, that's what I'm seeing. But all of a sudden nowadays, women have always had the short end of the stick, and women are downtrodden and beat down, and all this crap. And meanwhile, men are killing themselves. Men are self-deleting. I think that's the word to use on these platforms. Yeah, Spotify podcast rules, guys. But men seem to be self-deleting more, according to the numbers. Men seem to be uh, reporting depression and all this kind of stuff at way higher rates than women. And again, this isn't a man versus woman thing, but like a lot of these false narratives are only making this worse. Like, let's get it together, y'all. Let's unplug from a lot of that crap, man, and kind of see it for what it is and move forward. Right? It should be, and I hate to sound sappy, but it should be cooperation, love, respect, as opposed to, oh, you suck, or you guys suck, or I'm abused, or you're holding me back, or stop gaslight. Like, come on, man. Like, and sidebar, do y'all think Michael Irvin did it? Hmm. I would lean maybe towards he's innocent, but maybe was a little creepy at the same time in that interaction. I just saw the video. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that at some point. I might have to come back with that on another episode once I look into it a little more. But um, I guess happy equal payday. It just seems like a nonsensical thing. Just something else to reiterate. Hey, women, men hate you. Women only give it to women. No disrespect, but what happens then? Um, I guess we stop having kids. But hey, I digress. I digress. I'm just not a big fan of division in society. Now, if I can just slowly move along to another thing that I think helps to uh, keep this division going strong and actually create a lot worse than just a division is social media. Social media. All the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, all that, man. Um, you can be having a great day. All right. You can be having a great day. The most faithful man or woman, uh, just feeling good about yourself. You look in the mirror, you're like, yeah. You know what I mean? You go on social media, you start seeing plagiarized pictures. I like plagiarized pictures, um, edited artwork. Like you're starting to see all these things that are telling you that you suck, you're ugly, your skin is too dark, or your I don't know. Well, big lips are in nowadays, so I can't even say your lips are too small, right? Or your skin is too. You're seeing all these things that are just beating down on your psyche or your subconscious, and you just gotta eat that. You just gotta eat that. You put a post up and hope it gets 100 likes or I don't know what the numbers are nowadays, 50 likes, I don't know, 1,000. But I don't like I don't like the effect this stuff is having on our society. I really don't. And I get it. It's a double-edged sword because it can be used for good. I mean, I I shoot, I met my wife on there, so that's a great one, obviously, right? Love my wife. Shout out. Um, but at the same time, look at all the negative that you can run into, right? Cyberbullying. I know it sounds stupid. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of obviously I don't like bullying, but the fact that now it can be cyber is kind of wild to me. And a few months ago I would have just said turn off your computer. But there's kids on these computers. Kids aren't obviously going to be making the wisest choices or decisions sometimes. And also you got like FOMO. Um like the people who can't like not look at negative comments. Like that fear of missing out is real even if it's something negative or something that's going to hurt you. Like watching a train crash, you just got to keep your eyes peeled to it even though it's going to hurt you, it cause you anguish or make you angry. It's something about us. like like literally it's something about us. But have y'all heard about some of the stuff in regards to TikTok? Right? I've been hearing a conspiracy theory about TikTok for several months now, honestly, and actually a few years. Pretty much around the time Trump was in office, they were saying that TikTok was actually a Chinese brainwashing app or some kind of subversive tactic used by the Chinese government in order to uh, dumb down our society in America. Hmm. Um, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but can y'all give me the address or the page of where that came from, where it started at? Because Trump found it on the internet, because he ain't come up with that himself. That guy was a pea brain. Definitely, he's a leader, but he's a pea brain. Um, I believe that because what's the business owner's name? Let me give you a little background on the CEO now at ByteDance. That's the company that apparently owns TikTok now. They bought them not too long ago. I think was it May? Nah, 2020. No, it was 2020. I can't remember. But this company ByteDance is who actually owns TikTok, and I think was it Zhang Yiming. Either way, there was the I think it was either the creator or the CEO of TikTok recently, and I guess it went viral again. It's an older interview, it seems like, but he was talking about how he doesn't even allow his kids. He has an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old apparently at the time of the interview. And he was saying how he doesn't even like them using the app. In his words, they're too young, right? And this is a common theme. I remember back in the day we had the creators or co-creators of Instagram saying the same exact thing. Like there's a whole documentary about the uh negative aspects of social media or how it's designed to literally hook your brain like a drug, hit those centers of your brain, get those chemicals running through, and just just make social media like a drug that you just need more of, right? And like, we all know this. The documentary is called The Social Dilemma. Every like if you haven't seen it, go watch it. See if it makes you feel a little different about social media. And this is coming from some of the creators of these, some of the more popular apps. But these people don't want their kids on there. And we're in a society where our kids are on these things, not mine. Not mine. I'm hoping I can keep them off as long as possible. But he mentioned in the interview, the CEO of or creator of TikTok also mentioned in this interview that in other countries, kids have to be older than 13 to use the app. It's definitely not that in our country, though. Definitely not that in our country. But hey, I don't know. How do y'all feel about social media? How do y'all feel about its impact on our society? Do y'all feel it's negative? Do y'all feel it's positive? Or do y'all know it's negative and just not care? Those likes are addicting, huh? Right? Like, I'm just asking. I'm just because, hey, I'm the loser. Obviously, words are important. I'm not a loser, but I'm not. I'm not on social media that much. I honestly loathe it. I don't like social media. Um, for y'all that know me, it makes my skin crawl. I can't even incognito mode. I can't even be on there for more than a few minutes without feeling weird. It's too many pet peeves, I guess, that exist on there for me. So, me personally, things that don't make me comfortable, I avoid. I avoid. Shoot. The apps are still on my phone. You can go. I go on my what do you call it? You know how you can go on your in your iPhone, go to settings, and see how long you are on certain apps. I don't crack 10 minutes like for the week. Like I don't crack 10 minutes for the week. Now YouTube though, that's social media that I use. That's social media that I use. I enjoy YouTube. Y'all get off all those other social media platforms. Just go to YouTube, man. Go to YouTube. I need to get some stock in that, man. Alphabet, what's up? Holla. But yeah, y'all let me know, man. I keep telling y'all to turn up those comments. Leave some comments under the video. Don't just leave the stars, man. Leave some comment. We want to see the engagement. I'm doing this show by myself. Ain't nobody in the studio with me right now, yo. I'm by myself. I need that engagement, man. Like turn me up, man. Turn me up, as the kids would say. But I need that engagement, y'all. I need that engagement. It's good. But going back to TikTok, I definitely don't think it's nefarious. All right. There's all kind of propaganda going on about China right now. And I am obviously not Chinese. I am not an advocate for the Chinese. So I don't want to hear, when you disagree with people or don't have the same opinion of these red and blue gangs, Democrats and Republicans, whatever the case is, these ideologues, when you don't have the same opinion, each side thinks you're from the other side until they're all in the room together and realize you're to be left alone. But I'm not gang banging for China and I'm not gang banging on China. Like leave them people alone. They're clearly doing something a bit better than we are, in the way that they're mixing capitalism with communism. It's clearly worked for them. So maybe we can take a page out their book and not just rely on big guns. But I digress. What I was saying is, I do not think that China is doing anything nefarious. I just think it's big business. And it seems that they're doing it a little better than us. Like I said, uh, I think that I hate this term, but it's so apropos in this moment. But the powers that be, right? The movers and shakers, the billionaire class, the ones that are sitting in those rooms and actually uh, causing things to move, right? I think straight up they want a war with China. I think for a while now they wanted to humble China. I think they are jealous of the moves that country has been making. Anybody just look into it a little bit outside of American propaganda. Just look at what they've been able to do in the span of 60 years. Just 60. That's to be commended, man. And look how they started out, right? I mean, England had them in a chokehold. Uh, exchange hands, get your freedom. yeah, quote unquote freedom. Uh, take a page from America's book. You know what I mean? As far as colonialism, but they also did their studies and saw that the way Europeans were doing it, that eventually, uh, uh, when I say Europeans, it obviously eventually becomes America. But China, obviously, these Chinese obviously did their research and saw that that way wasn't the way to go. Um, and guys, I know inevitably somebody's going to say, but what about the Uyghurs and what about the man? That's how they do things over there. They're not a religious country. They can do what they want. Um, I'm sure they're not over there talking about, but what about the black people? Or but what about the gay people? Like you guys get your brains get tossed around so easily. Like your energy gets put into different places that aren't focused on what's more important, which is us. Like we got streets with what they call now, and instead of homeless, it's unhoused or something like that. We got a huge homeless issue, and we have a huge child poverty. Like, come on, like they got y'all worrying about people halfway across the world. Does that make sense to you? It don't make too much sense to me. What the Bible say? Take the this, take the log out of your own eye before you worry about the speck in your neighbor's. Yeah, the little Bible verse for y'all. Yeah, I remember that one. I still got that one tucked in. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But come on, y'all. We got issues here. So how hypocritical is it for us to talk about the persecution, the internment, or whatever the case in another country when they still talking about now? I just saw the Biden administration. They were talking about putting migrants or immigrants in cages again. Y'all remember that? My Democrat buddies out there, y'all remember that? My Republican buddies, y'all remember that? So all I'm saying is just think a little outside the box when they're trying to get you to think something, or well, you got to understand when they're presenting something to you is to kind of usher you into thinking that, or energy is real. You give something energy, it becomes alive. So just think before we jump on these trains or these bandwagons and all that kind of stuff, because it is power. You're giving them your power, you're giving them your energy, and you're kind of giving them your brain cells. So I want to actually go deep on China, the Soviet Union. I'm gonna do a whole episode on that. Might even be a series, but yeah, that was fun. I want to get more into that for sure. That's my bag. But before I get into my last segment, y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about China. All right. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we should leave them alone. Like Bernie was trying to say back when y'all did not vote him in as president, we should just shore up our defenses, shore up our borders. Uh, Obviously, fix what we can, help where we can. But this whole take over the world, spread quote unquote democracy, which means I take your stuff and you take my culture, which has been going. It's timeless, y'all. Don't let me get into the history of Greece and and Rome and how they, you know, come on, don't let me do that. That'd be another episode though, but for sure, that's fun. That's another one of my bags. But leave them alone, man. Like leave them alone. Fix what we've caused. That would be the true humanitarian thing to do. Fix the damage that we have caused in a lot of these places, which is a lot, or the damage that even we've helped cause, right? But other than that, leave these people alone. They don't need your democracy, man. We got issues here. So for you to think you're gonna go or talk about another place, uh, again, y'all gotta understand places like China uh, don't have a centralized religion. Essentially, the religion is the state. The state meaning the country, the government. There is no like gods or no pantheon, no Greek pantheon or no like monotheism. They don't have that. Respect that. That's how they have their culture. Just like some of these places overseas, when you see on social media, some people go to Saudi Arabia or they go to Dubai, and you got to dress how they want you to dress out there. Women, you can't be too wild. Yeah, y'all respecting their culture, right? So come on, just think. But All this talk about China and these other places got me interested in a little bit of politics, a little more politics, I guess. So I've already been going in a little bit, right? But the Bernie Sanders Bill Maher interview, it was interesting. It was a quick hit on his show. Y'all know how he does. He has a guest on prior to the whole panel. But I think Bernie did a good job. Did y'all see it? Guys, pause this, go on YouTube, check out the clip. It's like 9 minutes. Play it on one half speed if you have to. Then get back here. Y'all done? How'd y'all like it? I'm still Team Bernie. I praise no man, but I like the guy. I think he's one of the more, I don't want to say trustworthy, but as honest as you can be as a politician, he might be that. I don't think politicians are too honest, but I think he might be that. And I enjoyed a lot of his policies. He stayed away from divisive narratives and topics and the stuff that either woke ideology or restrictive ideology wanted him to talk about. And I respect that. He really focused on in his bid in his run. He focused on the things that he believed, and a lot of them that I believe can make real change in our society. Not whether or not somebody has a bathroom or a pronoun, or whether or not you take out a book that's talking about somebody's bathrooms or pronouns. Yeah, hey, y'all see what I did there? But I don't think we'll see another Bernie too. But Bill Maher took an interesting position. I think he has a show to do, so he wanted to kind of keep it as light as possible. And this is how he's starting his show. Um, but I also think what is Bill Maher, like 50, 60, 70? I don't know, but he's probably like 50 something years old. He's what we call in this country a white dude. Um, and for y'all out there already thinking, like, why did you say it like that? I hate using the words white and black. I don't like it. I want to live in a future or I want my kids to grow up in the future. And I want to live in the near future where we don't use those terms anymore to describe human beings. We are who we are. Don't judge me by my skin tone or my skin color. It's real nonsensical. That's like some 1400s uh, colonist mindset type stuff. Like so, I personally don't like using those terms. So I create. So hey, create the future you want to see. So that's what I'm doing. But let's get back to the Bernie Maher interview. Bill Maher took a position, which is typically the interesting one, which is why shows typically, when I was talking about podcasts earlier, they typically are, uh, there's typically somebody else there to bounce off of, right? Even the greatest podcasts some of the great podcasts that you can think of, Rogan, I don't know, Budden, what's another one? All kind of podcasts that there's always a person to bounce stuff off of because that makes it easy. Honestly, it's a little tougher to do a show by yourself. It really is. It really, it really is, y'all. But I think Mar wanted to be the contrarian. That's an important role to take in shows. Again, divide and conquer. It keeps people interested. It keeps people interested. It's always more interesting to get both sides, especially when it seems to be contentious. Even if it's not, it's just that's what typically is more entertaining. That's a little nugget for y'all. But definitely, I thought if you haven't seen the interview and you didn't listen to me telling you to go watch it, try to catch it. And if you're one of those people that just try to stay away from politics, what are you doing? Grow up. Come on. What are you doing? You gonna let other people create the world that you live in? Other people create the atmosphere that your kids survive in or don't survive in, like without you having to say, get off your ass. I grow up. Um, I know some people, especially recently, have gotten a sour taste in their mouth because of politics or whatever. But I also think y'all just being lazy. That's what I think. Politics is extremely important. What was it Michael Imhotep um, has famous lines. He's saying that politics is the redistribution of wealth, health, power, and resources. And if you think about it, all those four things and more, that's what politics is. So you wonder why we, as quote unquote, what they call black people, tend to get the short end of the stick. That's because we're not coalescing as a base. Because my people from Haiti, flags right in front of me. The Union fait la force. Um, that's where my people from. I was born in this country in '87, but my people weren't. I know I got a lot of friends that are Jamaican. I got a lot of friends that are just continental American. Uh, I got a lot of friends that are from all different walks of life or ethnicities, as I like to call them. We're one human race. Um, but with all that still said and done, we're all still referred to in this country as black, quote unquote black. Uh, so if that's the case right now, as of now, the current reality, why not coalesce together? Why not vote as blocks? I know we're not a monolith. We all don't stand for the same things or see the world the same. But society sees us as black, right? Um, I didn't even want to get here yet as far as politics goes, but I'll tell y'all this: I am a registered Republican. Are some of y'all surprised? I hope not. I hope not. Um, had a long stint as a Democrat. Then I had a few years, a few election cycles, a stint as a independent. Started to get annoying because in Florida, where I'm at, you cannot partake in the primaries as an independent, which is stupid. I think that's how they want it. It's easier to control two sides as opposed to having ranked choice voting systems or whatever the case is. Um, it's just easier for them. So whenever they get a chance to talk down on opening up uh, voting for independents or different parties to take part in the primary election circuit, the system always talks down on it and brainwashes voters into thinking it's a negative thing. I don't think it's a negative thing. I think uh, in this society, at least, more options is better. But how they see it, which is the truth, more options leads to them losing power, right? If the pie got to get split 15 different ways, that's less pie. It was being split two ways before. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot. So I get it. I get it. I get it. But I do uh, respect, uh, more voices being heard. You know what I mean? More voices. And being that if there are multiple parties, that gives more people the ability to be heard, and it also brings new ideas to the party in general. Metaphorical party, not Democrats or Republicans, man. But I like that a lot. So, going back to my journey, right? Uh, After spending that little stint in the independent side, I decided to, with the help of some ideas from uh, Karen Hunter show and stuff like that, uh, I decided to join the Party of Lincoln, which is a, part of her program. Those who don't know Karen Hunter, she's a famed author, radio show host. I used to listen to her a lot back in the day on Sirius XM. Now I still follow her podcast. Um, yeah, she has great guests and stuff. And this is not an ad, but salute, check it out. She's her show is definitely one of the good ones. She has Greg Carr on the show a lot, and I think he's one of the smartest people in America. Eh, it is what it is. It's not Elon Musk. I'll put him over Elon any day. Um, but yeah, it's a great show, great program. Definitely a lot of great guests. Check it out. But yeah, joining the party of Lincoln, and the logic behind that really was just being able to control or even have a hand in what the other side is doing. All right. For instance, a few elections ago, I was going to vote for Jeb Bush. I wasn't a big fan of Hillary Clinton. I just wasn't. Those who know a little bit about Haiti or have people in Haiti that were able to see firsthand what the Clintons were doing. That's all I gotta say. Those who aren't Haitian, know anybody in Haiti or whatnot, probably thinking, "How could you not vote for Hillary?" I, do your research. Um, and then I was now thinking, fast forward, if it's DeSantis versus Trump, And remember, guys, I'm a Republican for the primaries only. Like, I'm typically not gonna vote for a Republican in the uh, general election. Typically, I mean, it's got to be somebody I actually believe in. But uh, with the current state of the Republican Party, I don't see that. Um, I'm voting for Kamala Harris if she decides to run. I actually like her, so I'll do an episode on her in a bit. Right now, I'm about done. I'm about tapped out, y'all. But yeah, man, come on. Like me doing the Republican thing was strategy, and I believe that this is how we should be moving uh, as a group. And even if you don't want to be in this so-called group, this so-called black a group, at least change how you think about politics. Put a little more thought into it, right? Because a lot of people you're just doing things just because it's been done for a long time that way, and that doesn't make sense. If you don't like how the country is going, or where the country is going, or how things are, do something about it. That's like a simple solution right there. But yeah, like I said, I'm tired. I'm tapped out. I don't see how people do this. Like, how does the Dan Carlin guy do this for like 5 hours? Like, he must be tapping in and out. Like, I think that's what it is. How you do like a 6 hour straight podcast? That guy's a maniac. Uh, salute hardcore history for those that know. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. But yeah, how you guys felt about the episode today? Y'all like it? I felt good. I felt good. I felt good. Definitely got some editing to do on the back end before I serve it to y'all. But before we go, I got a new segment that I think I'm gonna start doing every episode. Y'all let me know how y'all think, what y'all think about it. If y'all like it, if you don't, yay or nay. If y'all don't like it, I'll just nix it. I'll just do something else, or I'll just keep doing what the hell I want to do. It's that simple, right? But I don't know what I'm gonna name it yet. But as for now, it's really just predictions, right? So, uh, as far as my prediction goes, I believe that cryptocurrencies or crypto commodities, as I like to call them, will be used almost solely in the metaverse, right? I call it a commodity because it's not real money, right? It's just not. Anybody who thinks it is, I'm sorry, they got you. Uh, but it seems to go hand in hand to me, right? It just seems to go hand in hand to me. At this point, metaverse is still dominating in that industry. I know people that use it personally. Just because you don't doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Um, so one of my guys, he's in there almost every day. He has friends in there. I think that's so dope. I'm still scared of putting the helmet, the little goggle helmet thing on my head, the little VR helmet, and going somewhere else and tricking my brain like that. I'm not touching that yet. But it is something that intrigues me. I'll say that, but I'm not touching it yet. But this is something that is being adopted. I think the technology or the computing technology or the power or whatever is not there yet to where it'll be ubiquitous, but people are using it. And eventually, uh, I think the smart people that are creating some of these cryptocurrencies will start marketing it towards, or major companies will start marketing it towards use within the metaverse or these different spaces that will exist. It just makes the most sense. Uh, that's my prediction for the day. Um, yeah, got any questions? I already know where to send it, and maybe I'll go a little deeper into some of the topics. Right, one of my guys, one of my guys actually texted me about one of the other topics that I just briefly touched on. He's like, "Bro, can you go more in on that?" I'm like, you trying to that's an interesting one, but I definitely will do it. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'll get back into that. I'll either do a segment or a whole show on that. I don't know because it's complicated, like most things are, right? Most things are are gonna be complicated. But yeah, I have fun, y'all. I have fun. I have fun. I ain't gonna front. But yeah, that's really enough added to the time capsule today, y'all. Peace. And we are just universes crashing, y'all. So just do your best to leave a mark. Once again, this is Wendy. I appreciate you listening. Dear future robots, peace.